Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what time you're watching this. I'm Owen Hillman with my quasi beard alongside my awesome co-host Grant Hillman. Grant, the Georgia basketball season is winding up. Does this team look like they have a legit shot at March? Do you think that they could go far in March Madness?
Uh, no, I'll be honest with you now.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, it's just, man, Georgia is starting to feel like the Atlanta Hawks, actually, ironically, where it's just like we're in this weird limbo stage of like, all right, we'll turn around and beat Kentucky, and then we'll lose to Tennessee in the most embarrassing fashion the next week. I don't know. I mean, March Madness is March Madness, but honestly, right now, I'm just worried about us even making the tournament. Like, I think it's a
yeah.
complete possibility that we could miss out on that. So,
Georgia is kind of like the Atlanta Hawks as well in that they pretty much only have one amazing player in their team. And, Georgia has Jeremiah Wilkinson on their team. He got injured and Georgia completely slid. It's
right.
similar with the Hawks with Jalen Johnson. Like Jalen Johnson is the only memorable
Yeah,
player, maybe Dyson Daniels here and there, but
right.
Jalen Johnson is your franchise star. They just need to build around him. Otherwise, they're not going to be that good. But meanwhile, with the relevancy of Atlanta Hawks, the Atlanta Falcons are very much relevant. They're getting a jersey change sooner or later. I've seen some leaks online about potential potential jersey alignments here. What do you think about them?
Dude, I really liked the I don't remember. I think it was Zach Cohen is the name of the
Yeah,
guy
Zach
who's been
Combs is the
doing
one
the.
who produced it.
Yeah, I've been the second that he dropped that initial video about the fact that the Falcons may be getting a uniform change and a logo change, I was immediately just so hyped. But to see the red mock-up, I will say this. I'm a little worried because I'm not really sure I like how big the logo has been on our helmets. And I'm not sure that our logo would look good on red helmets also. I think that they said they're going to
Yeah.
stick with the black, which is fine. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I really am. I really want us to use those reds, and I would love us to have a black jersey similar to the throwbacks, but modernized. Obviously, we're still planning on keeping the throwbacks. We can tell because the jerseys are not on sale on the Atlanta Falcons website.
Right.
Uh, yeah.
I kind of feel like these jerseys are kind of like the mid 2010s style of jerseys, except just slightly bigger font. That's kind of
See,
the
the
vibe I'm bringing with
funny
them.
thing is Zach Cohen has been saying this entire time that they're not going to be taking inspiration from the 2010s rebrand. I think that was it. Reebok who did that rebrand.
I want to say it was Nike, but
It might have
either
started with
way,
Reebok, but
yeah,
yeah, whichever one it was. But it seems like the mock-ups look more similar to that than the original 70s Reds that we had or the 80s Reds.
yeah.
So
It does feel a lot more similar to the 2010s, which would be really funny.
yeah,
But while the Falcons deal with their jersey changes, there might be a lot of jerseys leaving the Falcons here when we look at the defensive side. I put the players in bold, UFAs again. The players in italics are rookies, chose what your contract they're in, yada, yada, yada. Looking at the defensive end and tackle room, there are five free agents from this squad. Starting defensive end David Onyemata, more like a defensive tackle on the team. Laquale London, nose tackle Contavious Street, defensive end Elijah Garcia, and defensive end Sam Roberts. The only returning members of the squad are Zach Harrison, Ruka Rohoro, and Brandon Dorless. Do you see the Falcons targeting someone in the trenches on defense?
100%. Yeah, I could 100% see us at the very least drafting a guy in the trenches. I'm not sure if we're going to make a big move per se on an interior defensive tackle. And I honestly think that we have an underrated amount of depth at the edge right now. At the very least, we have Jalen Walker and Zach Harrison is, I think, not really talked about a lot, but
Oh,
is
100%.
when he was healthy, is a phenomenal edge rusher. So to me, I don't see us going out and spending or really even drafting. Maybe we draft an edge, but I would definitely see us attacking the defensive tackle more. That being said, I think we're going to go ahead and draft a guy.
I can definitely see the Falcons getting one guy in particular, and that's John Franklin Myers from the Denver Broncos. He was revitalized under Jeff Ulbricht's scheme in New York, and very likable player. 30, he's about 30 years old, so he's just reaching his 30s. Got 7.5 sacks last year, so a pretty good player. Denver not re-signing him is a bit concerning,
Hmm.
but Franklin. The thing is that it's not really a great year to need a defensive tackle, in my opinion. Teams are starting to realize how much of a premium having that D tackle that can also pass rush is.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I mean,
definitely
obviously
changing.
you saw the Giants with Dexter Lawrence. You saw how much the Patriots signed Milton Williams to. And the Falcons, they don't really have that kind of D tackle right now. Ruker, I love him, but he was definitely overdrafted, and he's more of a nose tackle than a pass rushing defensive tackle. Could have gotten better guys there, but that's neither here nor there. But I think John Franklin Myers is who they'd aim for. I could see them getting a couple guys in the draft, but looking at Brandon Dorlus, he is in year three of his deal, $11.28 million of cap hit. He's the 2028 UFA.
Hmm.
I guess we didn't really even need an extension on him, but do you see the Falcons re-signing David Onyemata at all?
Yeah, I could definitely see us re-signing on Yamada. I think that if we don't, we're going to just be a little bit thinner on the defensive
Yeah.
side. And with the fact that we don't have the same amount of draft capital as we might want, and also with I think with the other things that we need to attack right now, with that being obviously, receivers, one thing, perhaps another corner. There's a lot of things that we need to attack, and we need to start worrying about obviously next season when all these guys are going to leave, unfortunately, and we're going to have to figure out who we need to keep and who's absolutely imperative to the system. So, you know, I think that we might as well just go ahead and re-sign Oyamata, and just I don't know. We don't want to be too thinned out and attack that position too heavily, considering we are going to start thinning out in a lot of other places on the field.
Oh, for sure. I think we definitely could re-sign Onyemata, especially if Franklin Myers goes to another team.
Hmm.
Franklin Myers will be the top target for defensive tackle among any team that needs it. And again, it's not a great year to really need it. There's a couple guys in round one that are good, but like outside of that, it's kind of thin. And I could see us re-signing Onyemata. I'm interested to see what the Zach Harrison contract looks like if we give him another contract. Because he's shown flashes here and there.
Definitely.
And I want to give him an extension. I don't know what he'll command on the open market.
Right.
I don't know what time we're gonna be able to do that for him, but I'd hope that'd be pretty soon. On to the linebackers. We have the we have a couple rookies here. Obviously with the James Pierce Jr. situation, we have no idea how that's going to play out in Atlanta. I've already made
Definitely.
my opinion pretty clear on how I would like to be played out, but I'm not Matt Ryan. I'm not Ian Cunningham.
Right.
I have no idea what is going to happen with that. Jalen Walker, though, it's a little bit more positive on him. The year two of his contract, still a rookie, still going to be. I think he's could very well improve next year, but a lot of free agents in this linebacker room as well. Caden Ellis is going to be gone. Leonard Floyd, Arnold Ebiketie, Khalid Kareem, D'Angelo Malone, Ronnie Harrison Jr., and Josh Woods. The only people left is Walker, Diablo, Bertrand, Anderson, and Trice. Again, we have no idea about the James Pierce Jr. situation. But which one of these free agent linebackers do you think we should try bringing back? Ellis, Floyd, Ebiketie, any of the other guys?
I mean, without a doubt, to me, the most important guy in the linebacker room has got to be Ellis. I'll be 100% honest with
Yep.
you. I believe that Ulbrich actually mentioned something about how Caden Ellis is imperative to how they run the defense. I don't see a world where we don't re-sign him. I think he's the most important guy in the room for this. I wouldn't be surprised if we cut James Pierce Jr. just to there's going to be some sort of thing with this contract with suspensions and cutting him with something like this that we could get a lot of that otherwise guaranteed money back. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see James Pierce Jr. getting cut in the next few months or so.
Yeah, me neither.
So to me, I mean, it's imperative that we keep Ellis, and I would love to see Leonard Floyd return, but Kid Ellis is number one priority that needs to be addressed, and he needs to be re-signed.
100%. Ulbrich has definitely backed this guy. Ellis seems to be the heartbeat of this Falcons defense for sure. I mean, if there's anybody that I'd like to resign, it'd be Ellis. But I'd also like to see us try to tender a contract to Arnold Ebiketie too. I liked what I saw out of him in a couple of games, and he definitely has some pass rush upside for sure. A couple free agents 2027, Divine Diablo and Troy Anderson. Do you see the Falcons extending either one of those two?
I want to say yes on Diablo because I know that next season is going to be such an imperative season for how many free agents we have. So I think a guy like Diablo is definitely a guy that wants to return and maintain the Falcons uniform.
Yeah.
However, I mean, we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, but I would honestly say that now might be the best time to do it. You might be able to, honestly, give an extension that might be more affordable for us than if we were to wait another year. And also, we're gonna have to tend to so many things next season is going to be absolutely horrid when it comes to our free agency. So I think I could 100% see us extending Divine Diablo, and I really think now's the best time. I don't know if we're going to be able to next season.
I mean, we'll see. We do have a decent amount of cap space, and if we do cut some players, that will increase. We have about like 26 million right now, so
Right.
I could definitely see us re-signing Diablo. I don't think it's going to be the number one priority on the team
Yeah, I
because we
agree with
still
you
have to
on that.
re-sign Ellis. But I really like Diablo. He was a really good run defending linebacker last year, and that you want to keep the pairing of him and Ellis for as long as possible. Again, I don't know if I don't think Troy Anderson's going to get another contract with Atlanta. It's just
Agreed.
unfortunate. The guy was drafted in the second round, but unfortunately, he just got an injury after injury for us. Like he's shown some flashes here and there, but he's never able to stay on the field. So I think that next year might be the end of the Troy Anderson tenure in Atlanta, unless he somehow breaks out tremendously for the team. But going on to the cornerbacks, we have AJ Terrell. His cap hit goes up by a wide margin. I believe it was about
Yes.
14, I believe it was about 10 to 14 million dollars this past season. It's going up to 22.5 million dollars as a cap hit. He's going to be a 2029 UFA, so that's a long-term contract given out to him. Same with Mike Hughes, outside of the higher cap hit. He has about a $5.466 million cap hit. Very manageable, and he's going to be a free agent in 2028. Clark Phillips is a 2027 UFA. CJ Henderson's a 2027 UFA. The only free agents from this year are D. Alford and Natrone Brooks. There's not really much to take out from this quarterback room. Do you see the Falcons trying to re-sign any of Alford or Brooks at all?
I don't think so. I think we're
Neither.
gonna have to address that in the draft or in free agency. But I really haven't seen enough out of D. Alford for me to want to extend him, to be 100% honest with you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see that. I really don't.
Yeah, I didn't like what I saw in 2024. He definitely had some better snaps in 2025 as the
Yeah,
nickelback, especially with Billy Bowman being injured. But I think it's time to maybe part ways.
I agree. And with Billy Bowman coming back, I mean, I don't know. I don't see it happening. I really don't.
I am a little bit concerned what will happen with Billy Bowman now because he had the major injury in week 7
Right.
and he thrives off of his explosiveness.
Yeah.
He was thriving off of the fact that he was just a pillar of salt and vinegar whenever he was on the field. And now I don't know if his explosiveness will come back like it used to. We will definitely see about that, but
Definitely. I'm
I'd be
worried.
very concerned about Billy Bowman.
The thing that makes me feel better is, this is only his second year. Still such a young player. I can 100%, see him bouncing back from that. But no, I mean, this is like, it is a legitimate thing to be worried about that we might not have the same Billy Bowman going forward that we used to. At the very least, he's still on a rookie contract, so we kind of have some flexibility with that, but definitely concerning.
Do you see the Falcons potentially going after a corner in free agency or the draft?
Yes, 100%. I think that might be the first thing we address, to be honest with you. That or receiver.
Yeah, I'm looking at Chris Johnson right now as a potential cornerback matchup. I
Hmm.
got to see a little more tape on the guy, but I saw him at the Senior Bowl. That guy covered everyone.
Yeah.
The only person who even mossed him was Tyree Montgomery from John Carroll University. Just typical Senior Bowl fact, but Chris
Right.
Johnson was absolutely elite over
Yeah.
there. He will be fantastic. The only question is like if he'll be a first rounder, but if he's a second rounder and he
100%.
falls to us, I'm running up to the podium drafting him.
Dude, seriously, 100%. I would love
He'd
to
be
see that happen.
insane. But on to the safety room, we have Jesse Bates for at least another 2 years. And I
Hmm.
put in his release or trade figures here. We'd get about 6.52 million in savings from a pre-6-1 release or trade. A 6-1 release or trade would be 14.02 million, and a post 6-1 trade would be 13.02. I put that because I've seen a couple people say that Jesse Bates could be a cut or trade candidate.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah, I,
100% agree.
I don't know what he's going to try re-signing for with Atlanta, but I don't think that we're going to be able to afford that with Bates. We're
Yeah,
already paying him $24.77 million dollars in his cap hit. And that was a great figure a year ago, but he did not look like the same guy that he was in 2024, where he was
I
just
agree.
literally a center fielder for Atlanta. Probably the best player in that entire Atlanta defense in 2024. He definitely took a step back.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know. It is concerning considering how much we're paying for him. I 100% could see him as a cut or trade candidate. It's just the guy's 28 years old, right? Last season he had what, 3 interceptions? Which don't get me wrong. I mean, he still was a phenomenal safety, but we're not paying for the Jesse Bates that we're getting anymore. And my issue I have is you pay him for 2 more years or 1 more year, and that's another blank check. You're right. Like, he's an expensive player to have at this
Yeah.
amount in general. And I don't see him, I just don't see him perhaps getting any better. I mean, I would love to see Jesse Bates in a Falcons uniform again. I have concerns about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's just that $24.77 million dollar cap hit is ugly. I believe it's the top
Yeah.
one in the league, and that is just unideal for a Falcons team that I Bates was not as good last year, and he's going to be turning 30
Right.
when once he gets to be a 2027 UFA. His cap it's literally second in the league behind Antoine Winfield Jr. And with how deep that the safety class is, and with how
Hmm.
good Xavier Watts was on the other side,
Exactly. Exactly.
I could absolutely see the Falcons trying to get a safety here because you need a because if if you trade Jesse Bates for like a second round pick or even a first round pick if a team is greedy for him, you
Hmm.
can draft like an AJ Halsey. I saw Zakeem Wheatley, he was pretty good. There are a lot of there were a lot of other options. There was a guy from TCU that was pretty good as
Right.
well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we all love Jesse Bates. He's just been so much fun to watch.
Hmm.
So much fun to watch in the last 2 years. But I mean, yeah, I agree with you. It's just, might be time to at least we're trying to prepare for his loss in value at the very least. There's a chance that he gets traded and has a phenomenal, upswing in his career again and is back to being a top five safety in the league. But right now, we have to prepare for his decline. And normally that might not be as much of an issue, but when you're paying the guy, when we have a $24 million cap hit, it's an issue.
Yeah, that's kind of brutal. I He had about a 70.0 PFF grade from this past season. Had much lower
Right.
passer rating. But moving on from him, I mean, the safety room pretty barren outside of Bates and Watts right now. I mean, unless they want Billy Bowman to play at safety, which I don't think that's a good
Mhm.
idea. I mean,
Agreed.
it feels like it's little bit less optimistic when you look at the Falcons' just entire defense. You see a lot of free agents in the team. There's a couple key players coming back, like AJ Terrell. You have Bates for at least one more year. You have
Right.
Diablo. You have Walker, but it just feels a lot less optimistic. But overall, do
Especially
you
after the
see?
James Pierce Jr.
Yeah,
situation,
yeah,
definitely just feels very optimistic. And it sucks because it's kind of taking away from what they're trying to build and how much the organization has changed in the last 6 months. But honestly, 2 months. But it's
yeah.
still, yeah, I mean, it definitely, you know, makes things a little bit heavier.
But when looking at this defense, do you see any like potential cut candidates the Falcons could have to improve on their $27 million dollars in cap space?
Depending on how things work out, I could see us cutting Mike Hughes. He's another guy that's just been a little bit too inconsistent for me.
Hmm.
I think that the issues were just kind of stretched a little thin on the cornerback room also. But I do think a guy like Kobe Bryant, I really like Kobe Bryant. He's got a lot to learn. He's got still the game against uh Mike Evans. That game was,
Oh yeah, the
not the
Buccaneers
best
game.
performance. Yeah, but I think he had some great reps outside of getting absolutely mossed by a dude 4 feet taller than him. But to me, I could see Mike Hughes getting cut with a $5 million cap hit. That would definitely be an improvement. I mean, other than that, it's hard to say. It really is.
Fair enough. I could definitely see Troy Anderson getting cut. I don't know
Hmm.
what the dead cap money is on his contract, but he just is not. been on the field enough for us to warrant giving him another year, in my opinion. It wouldn't save us a ton of money in cap space, but yeah, his dead cap is literally zero. So you'd save us $1.5 million in savings. And I mean, maybe you bank on Anderson coming back and being that good for you, but he's just been too injury prone for to keep him on the roster.
That's fair.
Um,
Yeah.
but when you look at all the free agents coming up on the defense, does that change your opinion on who you think the franchise tag should be given to? I remember you saying it would be Kyle Pitts.
Uh, that's a very good question. Very good question. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I could definitely see us franchise tagging. Well, it's hard because how much is the franchise tag? Is it 16 million?
For tight ends, it's 16 million. It's a bit
Okay.
different for every single position.
How much is it? I could see us franchise tagging a guy like Caden Ellis. I just don't know how much the franchise tag would be for Caden Ellis, a
Franchise tag would
linebacker.
be pretty big. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Just because
right.
there were so many free agents that got signed this past offseason. There were so many players that got extended, like Fred Warner got extended, Jamie and
Right.
Sherwood got extended. The linebacker is up to $27.5 million on the non-exclusive franchise tag.
Hell no. Never mind.
Absolutely
Hell
not.
no. Hell no.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Not happening. Yeah, and I mean, dude, it really doesn't change things.
No.
I have no idea who we'd franchise tag, to be honest with you.
I think Pitts would be a good one. The
Yeah.
$16 million is a tight end. It's pretty rich for the blood, but
I think with his
the only way the
performance,
Falcons could replace him really is like David Njoku.
right.
Most of the tight ends are undersized anyway in the
And I
draft.
will say this too with Pitts. The franchise tag is nice because first of all, Pitts is getting tight end one money, or at least tight end three, tight end four money.
Right.
And on top of that, he had a fantastic season last year, but we still should have questions about his consistencies in Atlanta. And I think, another year to wait things out on an extension is not a bad idea considering the issues we've had with him. And especially with, I don't know if you saw, but Ian Cunningham says that we remain non-committal on Michael Penix.
Yeah.
However, we're excited about his rehab. So we really, let's be real, we don't know what's happening in the quarterback room right now still. As much as Matt Ryan gets in front of the podium and says that Michael Penix is our guy, our general manager is telling you not the opposite, but he's not affirming it. We don't know who our guy is at quarterback. And so I don't know, we don't know how things are going to pan out next season, and maybe getting Kyle Pitts another season, whether that ends up helping Penix and the connection they have, or if we bring in another guy and that guy fights for the spot and he has a good connection with Pitts or he doesn't, you know? I think it's good to have another season considering we really don't know what things are going to look like in a year.
Agreed. The thing with Penix is like I think that he's just worried like they don't know if Michael Penix is their guy next year, not like they don't know.
Okay, like in the long run,
Yeah, they don't know Michael
I
Penix is their guy in the long term.
I want to see what the quote said exactly. Um,
But that's basically the same thing. I mean, Penix, I don't think that if Penix does not do well this year, they're obviously going to move on from him. That's what I feel like
yeah,
it's going to be.
yeah, 100%. 100%. It's definitely a possibility. I don't know. I definitely have not given up faith on Penix, as you know. So I am just excited to see what this next season brings out with him. Although, we still have our worries, whether that's injuries, whether that's the fundamentals. They said apparently that they were going to be drilling in the fundamentals during this offseason, which I'll be honest with you is not really something I want to hear about my quarterback.
Not very positive outlook on that.
Yeah, I'd rather you not tell me that, to be honest with you. Like, we know he needs to work on the fundamentals. You don't have to tell us that.
We need to send him to kindergarten to work on the easy things.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. We're gonna drill in the footwork and fundamentals. Dude, this is the NFL. He's a first round pick. I don't want to hear how you're teaching my quarterback footwork. I'm sorry. I know you are. I know you are. Just don't tell me. Really, just don't tell us.
Gosh, it reminds me of all the talk surrounding Jalen Hurts right now, too.
Right.
The fact that he can't do the easy things right sometimes.
Dude. And Philadelphia's just been going all over the place with that. Like
Oh, yeah, for
it's been
sure.
so confusing. It has been so confusing. They are acting like their offensive coordinator is a dictator, which he very well could be. I mean, he's, but like, man, they've really, really, really pinned the offensive issues on him this
Yeah,
season.
too low.
Um, and again, like I said before, I don't know if it's because the offense was simplified because of Hurts or if the offense was simplified. you know?
Hmm. Well, overall,
The
though, when you look at the roster, like wide receivers, the tight ends, D tackle, lineman, corner, what would you say is your number one? What was his position that you would most like to attack in free agency?
over both sides of the ball, I would say honestly wide receiver. I'll be 100% honest with you. I just
Yeah,
don't like the fact that David Sills is catching passes for us genuinely. Like
no.
nothing against the guy. It's just we're so stretched thin on the depth chart when it comes to receiving. Dude, it's a problem, and it's not going to help out our young quarterback. To be honest with you, we don't really have a wide receiver two. We have a wide receiver one, and everybody else, and Kyle Pitts.
And we still need to extend Drake Blunden too.
Right, that's another thing we have to worry about. But we need absolutely just something, some depth. We need to get some guy, whether it's a Waddle, whether it's Tyreek Hill. I say that, but I don't really believe that. We need
Absolutely
we
not.
need to we need to attack. We need to get somebody. We need to get somebody, and we need to be at the very least a very, very, very solid wide receiver too, because we have nothing, nothing in depth right now.
Yeah. I want us to try getting a guy in free agency at wide receiver. Maybe
Yeah.
even over defensive tackle, even though the John Franklin Myers signing would make a lot of sense for Atlanta. I want to see us try getting wide receiver, at least some
Yes.
experience to catch passes from Michael Penix.
Right. And this is
Because
under
we're getting rid of
the
Darnell Mooney, bro. We got to
exactly.
get
I
rid
was
of him.
literally just get to say that. This is under the assumption that we're cutting Darnell Mooney, and I am 100% under the opinion that that's the truth. I think you are too.
Mhm.
Just how it's going to work out.
100%. But overall, though, that's gonna to wrap up our show. What do you say is your biggest winner or loser this week?
My winner of this week has got to be Ty Simpson because now all of a sudden there's a lot of league insiders saying that Ty Simpson very well could be a first round pick and is very well QB2. And oh, dude, this is crazy. Ask an Alabama fan how they feel about Ty Simpson, and you'll get my answer on what I think.
We
The
know about it.
fact,
We know an Alabama fan in person.
right, right,
He's never said anything good.
yeah, exactly, dude. Ebi Moshiri, Joshua Ebi Moshiri, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Ty
yeah.
Simpson being a first round pick is absurd, and I just can't believe that it might happen.
Well, who's your loser of the week?
Tyreek Hill, dude. I don't know if you saw, but Chris Jones tweeted out saying Tyreek, it's time, or the cheetah, or whatever his Twitter handle is, his X handle, sorry. And I think Tyreek, like, said something back. And apparently, according to Andy Reid himself, there's been absolutely no talks between Tyreek Hill and the Chiefs. I don't think they want anything to do with him. And yeah, I honestly have no idea where he's going to go. I guess maybe he's planning on retiring or not planning on retiring, planning on returning. I have no idea.
Maybe this is the theory that I got. I think he could just sit out the 2026 season,
Do
just
you
like
think he's going to have any value going into
rehab.
2027 then?
Yeah, he still has he still has that ACL injury to recover from, and like who
Right.
knows, it's gonna take pretty long. To be fair, it's like it was in September, so he could probably be recovered by then. But I
It
don't
was
think he's gonna
bad.
get.
He's 31 years old.
Yeah, and he said he would retire at the end of that Miami Dolphins contract too.
Jeez, dude.
So did get ended there pretty early, but yeah, he'll. I don't know if he's going to get a big amount of money, and it definitely be buyers beware for anybody trying to
Oh
get
yeah,
Tyreek Hill.
dude. Is there going to be absolutely no guaranteed money in that contract? Like,
No, there's a
honestly,
lot of
I don't think he's going to
incentives.
get a big contract. I think it'd be a super small contract, to be honest with you. I think it'd be like a 2 year, like $8 million contract. I don't think anyone's taking a risk with him. Like, genuinely, the dude's
Gotcha.
31 years old with a shattered leg.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah. And the
That
worst part is he is dependent on his speed, you know? It'd be different if he was a jump ball guy, kind of like a Mike Evans who can actually tear every single ligament in his body and still come back and break 1,000 yards. Um, but yeah,
man. Well, he's a free agent too. I mean, we'll see where he goes
yeah,
as well. Uh,
yeah,
Going on to my winner. My winner is going to be Megan Keller. She was the person, she scored the game-winning golden goal for the USA women's national team and won them the gold against Canada. It was an
yeah.
absolutely thriller move there. And I love Kenny Albert in the call. That call for aspiring broadcasters, you got to watch that one. Just the way that he uses silence is unbelievable in that call. I really like that, and I really like the Megan Keller goal. Congratulations to the USA, although the loser is the Pensacola Blue Wahoos for one specific reason. and that is Brain Rot Night. I don't know if you saw, but the Pensacola Blue Wahoos on July, excuse me, June 7th, 2026, they're unleashing a Brain Rot Night.
Oh my God, you're kidding.
Yes.
You're
I
kidding, dude.
there's gonna be promotions for it. And I feel like they're gonna have some sort of bobblehead out. I do not want to see a single Skibbity toilet bobblehead
Dude, I
out on
have to look into
eBay.
this.
It's
Oh my
it's
God.
absolutely insane. Hold on a second. Let me see.
Here's the write-up on the website.
Yeah.
Says, let me find exactly where it is because I just vaguely read it. Oh my God. 6-7 on Sunday, June 7th. Leave your brain at the door and pay your Phantom tax. It's Brain Rot Night at Blue Wahoo Stadium. We'll be celebrating all the things you see scrolling on your phone when you should be reading a book, talking to your family, or touching grass. Skibbity on down to the ballpark, riz up your moots like your baby Gronk, and get ready for a night of baseball maxing.
Gosh, I'm debating cutting that from the show, bro. It's so crazy.
I think I might have to change my loser to clavicular for getting frame mogged by an ASU frat leader, but
I did see that too. And I can't believe that's a sentence either, bro. Like
I
what
know.
what is this year is gonna
Yeah.
be just like I don't know how in the world people are gonna explain in textbooks what this year even was.
Dude, I don't know. I have no idea. Honestly, they might just like nuke us and we don't have to worry about there being any more textbooks. I
Oh
think
my
that might be
gosh.
ideal at this point.
The mid 2020s are gonna be such an
Oof.
interesting topic to
Yeah.
think about. The Falcons might not be in it. We'll have to see about that.
They're just gonna skip over our chapter.
It's
Definitely.
gonna be just a footnote. We
Yeah,
might get a
exactly.
player in a jersey
Or
for
honestly,
that.
they might be like longest consecutive 7 and 9 seasons or 8 and 9 seasons in NFL history.
And Guinness Book of World Records can put that on for
Oh my
us.
gosh. Yeah.
Well, that is
Jeez.
our show. It was a pretty short show. We're going to be taking a quick break next week before returning in March. And we're going to have a big free agency show upcoming to late March, or not late March, like early March before the new league year, the tampering period starts. Be
Yes.
sure, yeah, my goodness, that'll be huge. But be sure
Yeah.
to follow us on social media. Be sure to follow the Instagram, the X account, and the YouTube account. The episode 6 should be out in a little bit. For my part, be sure to follow me on all the socials, on my X at Owen Strikes Out, on my Instagram, and on my YouTube channel, which is Tackles and Checks. Going to be unleashing a video there sooner or later. Working on the script right now. Also, be sure to follow my brother on Instagram and on his X as well. And thank you guys for tuning into the show. Rise up.
Yes. Thank you. I'll rise up.